This was first made clear in the executive elections.
Yeah.
Now we're seeing it in the stronghold. The MPs are aligning with the party on one side, with the government on the other. So they are now seeking to come together.
Yeah.
That's the signal they are giving to the public, that there is a need for us to come together, which means they are not together. There is a need for us to meet, for us to have a meeting of minds, which means they don't have a meeting of minds.
Yeah.
This is strange. I don't recall the last time we had such a situation in Ghana, where the ruling party were at cross purposes with the ruling government. What does it mean? And what could possibly happen between now and 2024 to turn what looks like a divided party into a winning party? What will it take? I've got to say, the menu of solutions to this problem is very, very short. The options available to them are very, very few. All of them are also drastic.
Yeah.
All of them are drastic.
Look,
Anyway,
if you want to know the importance of the Ashanti region,
Yeah.
for the NPP, for instance, in 2020, John Mahama had about 650,000 votes in the Ashanti region. He had 606,000 votes in the Volta region. His stronghold,
Yeah.
Volta region, he had 606,000. In the NPP stronghold in the Ashanti region, he had 652,000. That was an improvement from the 2016 figure, about 100,000 votes improvement. So what that tells you is that for the NPP, the Ashanti region is very key. In fact, with the Ashanti region votes, they are able to neutralize the, and Akvodo had about 1.7 million votes. So that's a margin of about 1 million, over 1 million. They're able to use the Ashanti region votes to neutralize the northern region, Volta region, and other regions where the Upper East region, that the NDC would win. And so the elections would now be fought within the eastern, Greater Accra, Central, Western regions.
Half of them being swing regions,
Swing
the
regions.
other regions being
And the eastern region,
interesting.
they also being an NPP stronghold.
Yeah.
It tells you the importance of the Ashanti region. And I know, in fact, I've been in some quarters, the NDC elements have said, if the NPP gets 85% of the Ashanti region voters coming out to vote, they know that they have a problem. And I mean, at the time, the conversation we were having, and later on I'll tell you what kind of conversation, but they said, if the NPP is able to get 85% voter turnout in the Ashanti region, then the NDC has a problem. So for this particular group to come out there, and the NPP has 42 seats, 42, plus one independent, making 43. Now this is the challenge. There's a growing discontent in the Ashanti region, and it's on social media. You can see it daily. You can see it all the time. And there's a group that is threatening to field independent candidates against these members of parliament. But for me, the most important thing in all of this is, one, the realization of the people of the Ashanti region that enough of the stronghold conversation, enough of the way they are better MPP. Today, our voting for you shall be dependent on your ability to develop the region. It is no longer cast in stone. We'll vote for the MPP. But if the MPP doesn't develop the region, we'll be concerned. And guess what? There is also a group now that is actually urging the NDC, even in the Ashanti region, to make sure, in their words, Asantinize the NDC. They say, yes, they say the NDC must begin to elect executives who are Asantis in the Ashanti region. And that will go a long way in enhancing the electoral fortunes. If you are the NPP, you'll be concerned. Because of how the Ashanti region is able to help you neutralize the votes in other strongholds, even of the NDC. But having said that also, the citizens have realized that a lot has to be done for them. and members of parliament belonging to the governing party are beginning to send communications to the president and saying, our people are now chasing us. They say they need development. So what do? You must develop. I find it refreshing. Just that around this time, having said all of these, this is one of the worst moments to be asking for development in this country.
That's interesting. Yeah.
You see?
Yeah.
You see? So the outcome is, so this is probably the reason why you are seeing them making this call publicly, all right, rather than privately, because they anticipate that it probably cannot be answered. So they need to be on the right side of history when the answer comes back as no.
Or certainly
So
when
that
the
they don't
people
seem
are
like-
angry and they are venting their anger,
So
they
don't-
direct you to the right context.
Thank you. So they don't seem like one of the people responding no.
That's true.
That it's all chess. It's all chess. But the point is this: ultimately, when it came to choosing a side, the MPs chose the side of the party, not the side of the executive.
Exactly. Other regions must learn from this. You know, the last time we said other regional ministers must learn from the Greater Accra regional minister.
Yeah.
Today, other regional caucuses must learn from the Ashanti region, including Western region. Western region.
And you must stress that.
Yes, they must learn. You see, they must learn. So you see, my the road to my hometown, Mpoho, very bad, in a deplorable state. The last time the people were burning ties. After the president had gone to cut sword in 2019, Akufo-Addo.
Mr. Namu, a man of the people.
No, President Akufo-Addo went to cut sword in 2019 that they will construct the road. It's been 3 years. They've not constructed the road. And the people were demanding the construction of the road. I'm just hoping that the MPs in the Western region will do same. If you go to Takadi, their roads are in the worst forms. They should do same.
Look,
50 minutes ago, there's a gentleman, and the people who have followed Ashanti politics, this gentleman consistently would highlight projects in the Ashanti region that ought to be done. His name is Kwabena Safwa.
I know.
Yes.
I
He
monitor.
wrote
I
50
monitor
minutes
him.
ago, after 6 years in government, that's what actually he put up. He says, after 6 years in government, it's now that the Ashanti caucus in Parliament is trying to book a date with the president to table their grievances concerning the state of the terrible roads and other abandoned projects in the region. They only realized this after the incident at Swami, after the lavish party organized by the regional party chairman and well attended by Ashanti appointees in Accra was only centered on breaking the 8 and nothing about local development. After Kwabri East constituency, which gives the party the highest votes nationwide, has been sidelined all this while. Yet 35 million, he's talking about, has been assigned to construct legal flower pot interchange. After more than 500 million has been spent on railway construction and rerouting, while Kumasi's role as a central spine seems to have been disbanded, the leader of the Ashanti caucus in Parliament only became worried because Swami MP supported him in the primaries for the 5th time. Chair said, if it had not been Swami incident, then that's what he ended with. He is perhaps one of the people to go to. He will list all the projects in the region and why they are not being done and insist that they should be done. I actually think that there are several reasons people vote in elections. There's a sociological model. Now, mainly because I'm from a place with you, I'll vote for you, Winston.
Yeah.
There's also the other reason that I like the things you do, some of the things you do, so I'll vote for you. There's the rational choice reason that says that it is based on just your rational policies and the things I'll get from it. And that if it meets my interest and the things I want you to do, that's the reason why I'll vote for you. I am happy if the people in the Ashanti and virtually every other stronghold of any political party says, listen, the vote, it's not because we are from this place I'm voting for you or we have history together. You're only getting my vote because you do what is right. The day we get to the point where the people are demanding vote in exchange of the project, not money, not simple things, not I'm from this place, not I'm one of your own, not this is where we birthed the party. The day we get to the point, Democrats would have reached the point where nobody will take any area for granted.
Well, let's pray that that is the trajectory of our progress. But let's also say it is only a myopic person who will count the NPP out in spite of what they are going through.
Yeah.
This is a party which in 2016 were going through there were machete fights in their forecourts, but they won the election. So they have been able to come out of division before. It's just that it will take more than just uniting to come out of this one. So let's see if they have what it takes. But fascinating stuff. The stronghold, which is refusing to hold. All right, it's the Super Morning Show on Joy. And you guys, how long does it take you to get ready in the morning? Ray?
Give or take 15-20 minutes.
What do you do? What's your routine, really quickly? What do you
I try to make sure that what I wear is known the night before.
Okay.
So when I wake up, they just rush to the washroom and then stay in the washroom for, depending on the time. I like bathing in hot water. I can't. so the hot water may delay for like 7 minutes. So the 7 minutes plus stay in there between 5 and another 7 minutes. I should be done with washroom duties. Then clearly the clothes is back on the body. Then I'm shoving off fast. So shirt, trousers, shoes.
Then you are
rather
gone.
that way. Yeah.
But you spend some time the day before planning what you are going to wear.
Oh, that planned. Yeah,
That's nice. That's nice.
Consultants help out.
Oh yes, you have outsourced that work to Miss G. Okay, good.
So when you get consultants help, all that you have to do is that
follow instructions.
If you are smart, you don't debate that matter. You just move on with our way.
Okay. So somebody cares on your behalf. When you were single, what was the process?
No. I so the difference is that when I wake up in the morning, I think that, hey, can I wear something? Then the first set I'll see that looks like available. Yeah.
Just grab whatever.
Oh, no.
Grab and go.
Or die, be die.
Okay. Kung Fu, how about you?
Oh, I always would decide what I would wear, the previous night. Sometimes I'd leave that to my wife to sort it out. There are times also that I would.
How long does that process take, deciding what to
I don't know. Particularly if it's going to be my wife taking the decision. But if I am the one going to take the decision, I'll wait till the morning because I can iron
5
tonight.
minutes.
I can iron in the night and then change my mind in the morning.
Really?
I do that a lot.
Oh, media is what's available. Oh.
No, so but I can actually make a choice, and then when I wake up, I decide. Because before I, get off bed, I would have decided what I want to wear.
I see.
Yeah, so I normally would be awake by 2 a.m. Will be in bed till I, get off the bed. So while I'm in bed, thinking of what to talk about this morning and everything, I would also be thinking of what to wear.
So some thought goes into it.
Of course. But I decided. I left that to my wife also because I realized that there were times I didn't know that I probably wore the dress 2 weeks earlier, but she knows that, you wore this 3 weeks, 4 weeks. So sometimes you do that discussion. But for those that so I've decided to arrange them in a way that I know that, I wore this around this time, so I shouldn't repeat it again. But I think about it. And when I think about it, I have some pairs of shoes in my car, a lot of different things in my boot. So when I get to work, I decide the shoe I want to wear.
So your walk-in closet is in your boot.
Oh,
it's a drive-through.
I've kept shoes in my boots that when I decide on what to wear. If I do not wear the shoe in the house, at least I know that when I get to the office,
you'll find something.
I'll find a shoe.
So what about grooming and skincare regime? Raymond is in the bathroom for 7 minutes. Yeah. What about you? Do you have moisturizers and things that you use just
because they put the hairbrush in the bathroom,
the skin will be
skinny. I mostly forget that part too.
So do I.
But for the avoidance of that, you don't need a hairbrush for anything.
No, I don't need it. I just need a comb for my beard.
Yeah.
And I find that in my wife's things.
In the bathroom, are there products that are for you? Like, do you have your own soap or your own?
No, I don't.
Lotion or anything like that.
I just put on what's available.
My wife and I, we use the same soap. We don't use different things.
Who chose it?
Oh, she chooses it.
Soap there. Without that is they take a force of ladder and you are moving on with it.
Looking for soap to buy. That's not one of the things.
So what do you think of guys who actually spend time on these things? Buy products, and lotions and soaps and things to use, and every morning spend about 30 minutes in the bathroom doing all of these things before they come out, and then come and brush their beards and put oils in their beards and all of that before they get dressed and go to work. What do you think of these guys like that?
The first that comes about, what do they do?
What do they do as in for a living?
Yeah.
Why?
I mean, clearly.
Well, first of all, even though I do not have a lot of hair on my head,
yes.
I still take time to make it shine.
That's
Buff it and polish
No,
it
I take time. No, I take time to
to a
make it
high
shine.
resolution.
When I had a lot of hair, I had shampoo.
When was this? Was this
Oh, this
before or
was
after
in-
the First
This
World
was
War?
in 2007, 2008. I had shampoo and all of
yes.
that. Yeah, so that, I mean, in those days when I go to the bathroom, I take time and shampoo my hair and everything. That was very important. But today, I mean, what are you going to? If you pour the water on your body, it drops quickly. It doesn't pass I wouldn't use a shampoo these days. I just would spend time making my head shiny. And that one I do it all the time. I like it. And so that's it for me. And
So
then,
what do you think of guys who actually invest in this? sort of thing?
There's one thing about it, and let me be very honest with you here. I have learned over the period that you do what makes you comfortable. So I'm not going to think about, I mean, when I see a guy looking good, it doesn't really cross my mind to ask myself the question, Nadia and Suni. All I say is that, that's what makes him look good. That's what he's comfortable with.
In fact,
so be it.
to be fair, what comes to mind is that this guy, how many hours does he spend before he gets to work? So, like, I'm calculating that if I make a mistake and I extend the preparation time to 30 minutes, I'm too late. I'll be late.
Yeah.
So, I mean, give or take 15, 20, I should be when I open my eyes, getting out of the house. I'm just asking the person who does all of these things. I mean, what time do you wake up? How long do you spend in doing all? And what's really the motive anyway? It's almost like a competing woman in this department.
That is interesting because that is a view that is shared by many people.
Okay.
But I also know that a few of our colleagues, one of whom will be joining us after the break, have a completely different view of this. They believe it is actually it is right and proper for a man to turn up primped and preened every single morning. And we'll be hearing from all sides of this debate. And asking whether it says something about their character and their ability to look after their women. Because there's a saying to that effect. When we come back, we dig deeper on the Super Morning Show.